Alright guys, BLM here, we're back with another episode of Red Dead Redemption 2. We're continuing on with Chapter 5. And, oh yeah, we're right next to Dutch mission, right? So we gotta start this. Let's go. Yeah, we're reaching the end. I mean, this is the beginning of Chapter 5. I mean, we're not really reaching the end, but we're like, well, we're 52%, fuck me. But I mean, technically there are 6 main chapters in the game. So this is chapter 5, so I mean we are nearing the end of that. However, there are 2 epilogue chapters, so it pretty much means, yeah, we're about halfway, but either way. So yeah, yeah, tonight I did,
Hey.
oh, here we go.
Hi. So,
So, yeah, we've done all 9 seasons of the Survivor, PlayStation Survivor series that I wanted to do, and, we're about to do the All-Star one. So, I haven't cast it yet though, but I have everything I need to cast it. So we'll do that in a little bit. The first actual Survivor happened today, so let's talk about that. Really weird episode. Really strange episode. I found it really weird.
What do we do when we get Javier?
Yeah, I really thought Davey was going
Set sail for the one place.
the entire
Ain't nobody
episode.
gonna be
And when he goes
expecting
and
us.
plays his idol for himself, I'm like, okay, that's
Get
strange.
everybody
I guess
together.
Allison's going home.
And
And
get
then
ourselves
after it
back
becomes a
on
3-2 vote
course.
for
Where would
Christian, it
that
seems
be?
like it turns out Christian was, I mean,
Place we
based on how the
just
votes
escaped
split
from.
up, I mean, we would assume that probably means Christian was going home the entire time.
You want to go
It's just
back
that they
to
portrayed
Saint
it to us
If it
in
was
a
you
different
that
way.
left, you'd want us to go back.
I'd want it, but I wouldn't
It's strange.
expect it.
It's a really strange
Ain't
episode.
no
It
one
really
gonna
is.
expect it. We come back
But
from the dead.
yeah, I'm surprised
gathered
Christian went out
everyone, and we
before
leave before anyone
the finale too. I was really
realizes
surprised
we've
by
even
that. I
resurrected.
really thought he'd be in the finale.
An insect bite
Obviously,
you or
I didn't think he
something,
would
you
win,
shoot
but I was thinking he would
gone,
get at least 4th or 5th. I mean, for him to go out 7, I was very
Look
surprised
like
by
what we
that.
are. A bunch of desperados on the run.
Like I really thought it would
With
be
the
Davey
women,
tonight.
a
And,
change of clothes.
Davey or Allison. I thought it'd be one
We're
of the two.
a choir, or a gang of pilgrims,
Yeah, we're going
or
to the finale
something.
with Davey, Allison,
Whatever you
and
say.
Kara. And obviously, I
Bunch
mean,
of penniless fugitives on some Caribbean
spoiled,
dump.
quote-unquote, spoiled
Sneaking
Final
through the
3
caves while 2 of our
is,
best men got shot back home.
is,
How could I doubt you, Dutch?
You got
Nick
no idea,
answering
Archie.
that mic. But,
No idea
again,
at
it's not
all.
confirmed,
I
but
will do
it pretty
whatever
much
it
is.
takes for us to
So it's
survive.
like,
I guess that's
how's the
what
rest
I'm
of this play
afraid
out?
of.
I mean,
Hold
I
on.
guess.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. I mean, it's going to be interesting either way. Again, I mean, the fact that, obviously, through
Buenas
it's like,
noches.
through this final 3, you would think Nick is going to win, but I mean, like, this was a very bad episode for Nick. However, like, the penultimate episode seems to be an episode that the editors use to, like, mislead you
Oh,
more
it's
recently, I feel
genuine. The old
like with,
Vamos, vamos, rápido.
because of that, I'm not as worried.
This last
But,
bit of gold
I
have
I
in
should
my
say
pocket
worried,
from
but
back.
it's like,
The
at the
rest
end of
of
the day, I
it is
don't really
bottom
care about
of the
this.
sea.
I mean, I don't
Exactly.
think Nick, like, while I think Nick is probably played the best game out of the remaining people, even his game, I think, has significant flaws.
A la izquierda.
You know,
So, like, even if Nick were to win at this point, I feel like he ranks right above
at the party in
Adam,
Saint Denis,
which is, like, in the middle tier. Like, I don't think he's a top tier
I
winner.
knew I'd heard that name before.
But I do think he's a very
I
good
met
player,
up with
though.
Leon.
I do think he's
That
under.
situation with the workers.
He's a very
dealt
good player. I just think his
Captured,
actual.
tied up, beaten.
Poor bastards.
No, that was me.
Yeah, I just don't think his
You
game
sure this
has
here
been
Q
as
fellers
great
ain't
as it
just
could have
using
been.
us?
Almost certainly.
But
he's the
it's
best
still
chance
solid
we
game.
have right
And again,
now
I don't think
getting out
anyone
of
else
this
there
place.
would be a higher ranked
Won't be
winner
long
than
before
him.
someone figures out who we are. And
Like,
sends
again, I think
word to
Angelina,
the
if she
US.
were to somehow
So what
win,
happened with John?
which I mean, to be honest, I think it's
He
between her and
survived.
Angelina. I mean, like, I would not. Like, the thing, obviously, Angelina's been getting a
only one
really
they
bad
took
edit.
alive.
However, Jeff Probst and Matt Van Wagner have stated
I don't
over and over
know.
again they're
I
really
was
playing
already
with the
on the
editing
roof.
this
I didn't
season.
see it.
And that's led me to believe that
Abigail,
maybe
I
there is a
presume
shot for
she was able to
Angelina.
slip
Who the
away
fuck
in
knows?
What are you talking about?
And if that is
You
the
know,
case, then
when I
I think
look
she
back
would
at all the
probably be a middle tier
chaos
winner as well.
past
Probably
few weeks,
lower
the
on the middle tier,
apparent
probably near the
superficial
Sophie
chaos.
sort of area
I
of the
begin to
middle tier.
wonder, maybe,
But
For
still,
somebody,
not,
this
I
is
mean,
all going
I don't know,
exactly
whatever.
to plan.
Middle tier. I think
ain't
Mike
sure what
Mike
you're
would probably
saying, Dutch.
be middle
Nor
tier
am
as
I.
well, but again, I just don't think Mike's
That
gonna
many
win.
Pinkertons arriving like clockwork?
Kara
Once
would
again?
probably be
That must have taken
upper
days
bottom
to
tier. I'm thinking like
organize.
probably around
Maybe there's a
Natalie
maggot
White,
in
probably
the
even
apple.
above Natalie White.
Sometimes
Really.
I
Like, I think
don't
probably
know
like at the
quite
very
who to
top of the
trust
bottom tier.
anymore.
I think
Must be
Allison.
real tired, Dutch. No,
I mean, Allison would probably be bottom tier too. I don't know. Bottom, higher, either upper bottom tier, lower middle tier. Davey. Davey would be middle tier too, I think. Again, no one's dominated this game, so I mean, there's no one in the top tier. Everyone's either middle tier or lower, so whatever.
Arthur, come help me with this.
Just lift it.
As of right now, by the way, things can definitely change in the finale. Like if Nick needs immunities to get his way to the end, which I don't think is going to happen, but if that is the way he ends up winning, then I think that's obviously my ranking of him would go down. Or if he needs like idols to get the end, my ranking of him would go down. Like if Christian had won this game, he would be a pretty low ranked winner for me. Again, he needed to be saved by idols twice in the
Then
game.
you pay more.
Okay.
And if he somehow miraculously got to the end, again, it's probably
Pay
through
more.
immunity wins and idols.
Pay
And
now.
that was something I would respect Arthur Rucker for.
Jesus.
So Dutch is going crazy, right?
What was that?
Horrible old crone.
But you killed her.
She was gonna betray us, Arthur. Couldn't you tell?
No.
Well, I got some Spanish. She was.
You sure you're all right, Dutch?
I am just trying to make sure that some of us survive, Arthur. Now, shall we
So,
proceed?
I mean, that's pretty much all I want to say about Survivor. It was fine. Pretty good episode. I think one of the better episodes in a little while.
Listen, son.
I thought last
think I
episode was
want
pretty
any
bad,
of this?
with the exception
I
of
don't
the
know.
vote out.
Of course I don't.
I thought the double boot episode was just
I
kind
made a
of
pledge to
okay.
you all. We would survive.
This is probably
no
the
matter
best
what.
episode since the Dan
So how
boot.
did you know she was gonna betray us? What'd she say?
I think they're probably at
It was
around
in
the same
her
level.
eyes, in the way she was leading us.
But you said you knew Spanish.
I know human beings, Arthur.
Well, maybe we've all just gone rotten.
I'm doing the best
So,
I can.
yeah, I have the list of the entire cast of all the seasons we've played out of the PlayStation thing, and all of them ranked by visibility. So essentially what I did some Assassin's Creed as well, which I don't think I ever even talked about this one Assassin's Creed. But what I do after each of these seasons that we play out, I then go round by round and give each person a ranking of 1 to 5 based on how involved they were in the process, like when we talked it out. And through that, cumulatively, and also running, like a running total, I have this weird formula. I do the same thing with Survivor Confessional, like real Survivor Confessionals. I actually use the same spreadsheet, just obviously use different numbers. But through that, I essentially, at the end of the day, with the averages I get at the end, I give the top person in the cast. I color coded blue. The bottom person is color coded red. The median is color coded yellow, and then people in the top half are color coded green. Bottom half are color coded orange. And through that, that's essentially how part of the way I cast the All-Star season for Assassin's Creed, where essentially anyone below in the bottom half was automatically eliminated, like they weren't even in consideration. And then anyone who was blue, who was the top of the cast, was pretty much locked to be on the cast. Like they were pretty much a guaranteed lock. And I think we're gonna do a similar thing here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, by the way. Okay, so not that. So we'll do the same thing here. Also, the thing about this is the process is also going to take a bit longer because also there's we only want one person. We want at least one person per game throughout this cast, and we also want at least one person per season. So it kind of complicates things. That's what, I mean, a lot of it got really complicated with the Assassin's Creed one, especially because the Assassin's Creed one was so top
We're going
heavy,
to have to sneak
where like the
around.
cast for the first
This
4
way.
seasons were really fucking good, and then after that it started to not get as
They're all listening
good
to that
because of
fool. They won't notice us if
because
we
obviously I
stay
cast it
quiet.
differently here and here. I cast all the seasons at the same time, so I was able to spread it out. Last time with Assassin's Creed, I started out wanting to only do 4 and then expanded it, whatever, and eventually got to 9. So because of that, like the later casts were really, really lacking. So it really became tough to find all-stars from those seasons, and it really became a
We
pain.
need to
Really.
deal with them.
But this time it should be fun,
I'm
I
sure
think.
you got some ideas.
And also, I
Shut
never
up,
actually
help me
talked
kill
about
them.
the stuff from
On my count, you take the one on the right.
the
I'll
Assassin's
take the
Creed
left.
one. So and I'm just looking at the charts again here. It's pretty. I mean, again, it's like season 1. And yeah, like something that's interesting too is that something I noticed is that none of the winners this time around ended up with the most
So much for the count.
visibility.
3. Okay, let's hide the bodies.
Literally none
You
of them.
grab that one.
And most of them weren't even like second, I don't even think. While for Assassin's Creed, I think it was completely different. Like, yeah, Assassin's Creed, 4 of the 10 winners were the top. And, I mean, essentially the way we got
before someone sees
the
us.
season 1, we had, Altair was actually barely even in the, like, he was in the middle.
Over here.
Like, he was in the yellow, so he was, like, right in the middle. So, I mean, that's pretty bad, for a winner. Hatham was actually the top one there, so, yeah, not that surprising, obviously. Obviously, Ezio was pretty high, Evie was pretty high.
Let's head around the back of the building and
Whatever.
see if we
And
can
obviously,
find
the
a way
further you
through.
get into the game, obviously, the more your visibility is going to be as well. That's why. That's why. Bart Roberts was actually yellow, surprisingly, even though he was the 3rd boot, and we did end up using it for All Stars, so that was something. This time, I believe with the Assassin's Creed. Let's pause this. With Assassin's Creed, there were a good chunk of people that were pre-merged that actually were in contention. There was 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. With this one, I believe there's only, with the PlayStation 1, I believe there's only 2. So definitely a big difference there as well. Yeah, Bart Roberts we ended up using. That was
Let's go in
something.
there. Well, you know me, Arthur.
In season
we'll
2,
cause
top
ourselves a
person
little
was
distraction
Edward
and then
Kenway,
poof,
obviously.
we will disappear.
Yeah, and Arno and Cesare were both pre-merged, but they both ended up in the top half.
Take the other side of this door.
A lot of that was because both of them went to like almost every tribal, I think, if I remember right. And yeah, season 3, Mirbo was the top person. Though actually, it looks like Connor actually was the top pretty much until the final rounds, final couple rounds.
Okay, you take the nearest one on the left. I'll deal with his friend.
Es una mierda. Es lo más bajo de una civilización.
This is such a weird section of the game, I feel like. Like, this feels more like the Order 1886 than it does Red Dead Redemption at this point. And yeah, Crawford Sterick was the early boot, yet he was in the top half. Though we didn't end up using him because again, I really came down to him or Cesare last time, I believe. So we used Cesare over him, but so that was interesting. Yeah, I believe we used like a good 4 people from the pre-merge last time with the Assassin's Creed All-Star one. Yeah. What, season 4, Leonidas was actually the winner. Was actually the top person there. Mind you, Mario was really fucking close though.
Okay, now we need to create a diversion.
Well, what do you think? Find another old lady to strangle?
That is enough, Arthur. This is a war.
Well, if this is a war, then we need to start
Pensacola was
blowing
pretty
some stuff
high.
up.
Zenio's high.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jennifer
Any
Scott was
dynamite?
actually really
No, we
high.
don't
Up
need
until her
dynamite, we
boot,
got
like she was
furnace.
9th place, I
And
think.
lots of sugar.
Yeah, up until her boot, she was actually or 10th
yeah.
place. She was actually the highest visibility up to that point, which is kind of surprising, especially because we didn't end up using her either. Mind you, that was because of family reasons. Because obviously, like I wanted only 2 people for family, and we already had Edward, and we hate them. So I was like, can we really use Jennifer Scott? Probably not. So.
Create enough dust. This place will go.
And yeah, season 5 of Assassin's Creed 1. Yeah, Kira was the winner, was number 1. So yeah, again, it's kind of weird how this time it didn't really end up being that way.
Okay. We are nearly there.
What are we doing? Yeah, this one, Napoleon, was one that he was a pre-merge boot that he ended up getting into the top half of screen time, or not screen time, of visibility. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, Giovanni Auditore was actually number 1 after that, after Napoleon went out, but again, we couldn't really use Giovanni because of Ezio and Mario already being involved. So yeah, looking back, I didn't even talk about this, like who was like front runner most of the way. Actually, looking at season 1, yeah, Cathan was pretty much the front runner in visibility the entire time. So there's that. Season 2, it was actually Aya, it looks like. It was Aya, then went to Cesare, then Arno, then back to Cesare, then to Claudia, then to Aya, and then Edward Kenway at the very end. Yeah, we didn't use Aya either because we already had Bayek, and I feel like just weren't. And I feel like we had Cassandra too. That was the one that really made it, so we couldn't use Aya. I felt like once we had Cassandra, it's like, well, I feel like Cassandra and Aya are very similar archetypes. Again, no one cares about this, by the way, but it's fun to talk about to me. Yeah, for season 3, I mean, it was really clusterfuck. It went back and forth like pretty much every round. I mean, like Connor had a good amount of visibility at the end before he went home. I think he went home in 10th place. So yeah, and then after him, it was yeah, it's weird. It went from Socrates, who was the first boot, to Balek, who was the second boot, then the Steric for 2 boot until he got booted 2 votes later. Then it was Aveline for 1 boot, for 1 vote. Then it was Thatch. Then it went to Mirabeau for a little bit. Then it went to Connor for a little while, and then went to Cassandra, and then she got booted. Then it went to Hornigold, and then it went to Mirabeau. Which at Hornigold, I was disappointed we couldn't use. Hornigold was one I definitely wanted to use, but I felt like once we had, once we got to a later scene, which we'll talk about when we get there, it's just we couldn't use Hornigold.
Now,
Season 4, as I said, I already talked about this, with Jet Scott had this screen time. But again, I say screen time because obviously, like, these are the same sort of charts I used for the professional thing. Rather so, I think of it as screen time, but obviously, visibility really.
Am I glad to see you? Come on, son.
I already talked about this one. So season 6, yeah, this is the one that Chevrolet. Chevrolet was actually the only person who had the most amount of visibility that I did not end up using for All-Stars. And the problem with that is that there was actually, what was the problem with Chevrolet? There was a specific issue I had with like why I couldn't use Chevrolet, and I forgot what it was, and why I had to use James Cook instead. Oh, I remember now. James Cook is on. Yeah, James Cook is on season 5. That was the problem. There was no one from season 5 I could use, except for James Cook. That would fit the cast. And if James Cook is there, he pretty much is the same style of character as Chevrolet. And same thing with Ben Hornigold. So it's like I couldn't use Chevrolet. And also with this cast, there was also Diona, who was someone I wanted to use, who was a pre-merge boot, who had a whole bunch of visibility until she got booted. So it's like we kind of had to like touch it. Chevrolet's the one with it is good. I think that ideally I would have liked to use him just because I didn't really care about Chevrolet. But again, he was a pretty important person on that season. Like, we go through the chart, he's really involved in everything, whether it be using the minority, whether he's like the one that took off the home and saved, or he's literally the one saving someone else. Like, he's literally very important for that group. Mind you, I mean, like, he had a lot of, like, he was the most visible through his first 3 votes. Then it went to Leona for a little while until she got booted. Then back to Chevrolet until the final, the final 9. And then the winner. But overall, like, if you average everything out, 7, Delete was the most screen time person. He was the Maharaja. Again, he was like a long for All-Stars. What else was there? I mean, Darim barely even made the top half, and he ended up winning. That's nothing. Again, just Ultimate's family's just kind of boring. Like, for this sort of thing. Like, they're not fun. Like, they're not fun characters just on their own. And then also add in the fact that you would assume that they'll play like very honorably and not really the fun one. It's just, they just end up but whatever. Yeah, how'd this one go? Who did I even use for this season also? Oh, just Delete. Was that the only one? Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, these last seasons, only one person used. It was used so many times for seasons that I think like every season. Yeah, until I don't really look at it. There's no one here to. I'm really fucking excited.
Okay, let's move.
Oh, you what? He died? Yeah, and this is one where actually Cleon. Oh fuck, died. Actually, yeah, Cleon had the most visibility until his boot, and he was like 12th place. So I mean, he had a whole bunch of visibility. But again, the thing about Cleon was that he was just so similar to so many other people, and I think we ended up using who did we end up using that was kind of in his archetype? Or did we just not even use anyone? Not even use anyone. I don't think we did. Oh, whatever. I mean, like, there's so many people that are so similar to Cleon that I just think there's no way we're gonna use. And then Delete took over. Yeah, I think it's about right. Now it's just 8. Irene had the most visibility, and she was the winner. Yeah, it's actually kind of weird how, with this, it seems like the first 3 boots, Niccolo Polo, Atabai, and David Brewster, they had the most visibility each one before they went home. And then Francois Delaserre took over for 2 boots until he went home. And then Charles Dorian took over from that point on. What are we doing? Where are they? I'm not even paying attention to the game. Charles Dorian took over until he went home. And that's yeah, 12, and then after that it was,
I think he's passed out, Dutch. Okay, let's move. They'll be moving all the way. Come on.
Yeah, again, I think the person we used from this kind of was I think I was willing to use Christina Vespucci, but she came in second on that season. I was willing to use her. The problem with her was that it would lead to an uneven amount of females on the cast, because it would lead to, I think it was 7 or so, I don't remember. But whatever, it leads to an uneven number, and I didn't want to have an even number of women, so I kind of just didn't put Christina Vespucci. But I wouldn't have been, like, I would have actually been okay with her being here. It is what it is. I think Severe was another one that I really considered putting on. But didn't. Yeah, and then season 9, which this was a weird season, because season 9 is when I used, most of the cast was just DLC characters, or like characters from like the Chronicles games. So it's just kind of weird. Yeah, Gerald somehow actually ended up with being in the middle of the pack, so he was actually eligible for the All-Star season. I mean, he was a pre-merge, he was the only pre-merge person there. We didn't use him, obviously, but again, he was in consideration, actually, for a little while. Consolaeus had a good amount. Yeah, the screen time here is, like, really fun. I mean, it starts off with, like, a tie between, like, 6 people. Goes to, Selim, he is the second group. And then it goes to Gerald, then goes to Pantasilais, goes back to Gerald, goes to Sutek, goes back to Gerald, goes back to Sutek until his group, and then at the end Nikolai takes over. And Nikolai ended up with the most visibility at the end of the day, so yeah. And he ended up winning, by the way. Yeah, not really much really worth talking about. I mean, again, we used Sutek for the All-Star one. Ah, fuck off. We're gonna kill these guys. What if I don't want to? Yeah, we ended end up using Sutek for that All-Star one. Which I think it was the first boot, wasn't it? Yeah, which I did make one of these for the All-Star one too, just to like finish it up. So I made it for all the others, so I might as well make one for the All-Star one. And yeah, All-Star one was interesting. It was really a clusterfuck. Oh fuck, we died. The All-Star one was such a clusterfuck because it's like every single time someone would get notoriety, they would go home next. Yeah, like here, it's like it starts off with the Maharaja, then goes to Mario Auditore until his boot, and he was the 4th boot. Then it goes to Ezio until his boot, and after his boot, it's Cassandra, who was the next boot. It was Bayek, who was the next boot after that. And then Hatham, who was the next boot after that. And then the Maharaja, who was the next boot after that. And then it goes to Edward Kenway for the last bit there. And then Edward Kenway ends up having the most visibility, but it's actually, I believe, the lowest average out of the entire series of Assassin's Creed Legion. By a lot, too. I mean, it's like not even close. So that's interesting. I guess the lowest amount for the highest, if that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I look at this stuff, I find this stuff interesting. That's why I kind of did it. I still find it, even though obviously this is all fictional and whatever, I still think it's interesting. And James Cook was the winner that season, but he was actually pretty invisible for the first half of the game. And it's like in the back half he really rose up, but yeah. Okay, well fuck. Yeah, actually Ezio, even though he was the most had the most whatever until his boot, visibility until his boot, he still ended up being in the bottom half. Mind you, he's at the very top of the bottom half, but he's still bottom half. Like really fucking close to Bart Roberts. Mind you, that's pretty good. I mean, considering Bart Roberts got 3rd place and Ezio got 13th, I feel like obviously that's alright. Let's just skip checkpoint, whatever. Yeah, so Edward Kenway was number 1 in 2 seasons then. Okay. Well, what the fuck was that? Oh, wait, what? We just go straight to another mission? Okay, fine. So, essentially what that all breaks down to is...
Now, we did what you asked.
It's like I said. Fusa knows who you
so we
are
did
and
all
knows the
that
price
with
on your
the...
head. It's a big
Talk about all
problem.
that with the Assassin's Creed one. Now we'll talk about it with the PlayStation one.
If
Which
we
again,
can
we're
silence
going to
you,
use this to create
then
the
I can
cast
help you escape
eventually.
before anyone has time to get here from America. That way, we all get what we want.
We want to get the boat you promised us.
And you will. But you have found yourself in the middle of a war, my friend. Fuso has called in the Navy from Cuba. There's no way a boat could leave right now.
Hercule! Hercule, s'il vous plaît! Vite! Vite!
Come. Follow me.
So, let's look at Season 1 here. And... yeah, Season 1, the person with the most visibility was actually Stan. Surprisingly. Stan, the homeless guy from Beyond Two Souls.
So now we have a real problem.
So,
This
because of
must
that, I
be the
do
boat
think
he
he's
called in
probably
from
going to
Cuba.
be on the All-Star season. He's not the most interesting person in the world, so I wouldn't be upset if he wasn't on there, but I feel like just solely because of that, he'll probably end up being there.
We fight or we win.
Any of you boys feel like running?
Yeah,
So what do
Kratos
we
is
do?
pretty much a lock.
I
Kratos
will
had
go get
the
the can
3rd
ready.
most. Or no, 4th most, I
Okay,
guess.
let's get
Later
to
on.
it.
Considering Sam Drake was the 2nd most, he's not eligible to be 1. Stan obviously had the most, so I mean, we'll be using him. Kratos is probably 1, and then, I don't know, I mean, Mike Monroe was actually 3rd, and I don't know if we use him. I don't feel like we need him, but, yeah, I wouldn't be upset if we do end up using him. But I don't think he's definitely not a lock. So the people who are eligible from this are Sam Drake, Tuesday, who was not, Stan, who I think again is probably a lock. Hector Alcazar, who's a maybe. Josh from Detroit, Become Human. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not though. Mike Monroe. Maybe. That's a debatable one. North is another maybe. North from Detroit. We'll see. Kratos, I think, is a lock. And then Vala. I'm just even trying to remember who Vala is. Oh, that's the daughter of Sona. Okay, so which either way, we're not going to use this. Ellie from The Last of Us, who I don't know if we're going to do it. Where are we going? Okay, we're actually on the wrong side. And then Carter Blake is the last person. Again, there were only 2 people in the entire series that were eligible, that were pre-merged. So yeah, Carter Blake, I think is another one that's like a maybe. I feel like there's so many people in this archetype though. What are we doing? What is this that we're doing? Oh.
Damn, this is heavy.
So again, I think the locks are Stan probably and Kratos. Everyone else is kind of like up in the air, I feel like, depending on how everything plays out. Again, it's pretty much like a puzzle. And it'll be fun to play out on the channel probably. Because I didn't play out the Assassin's Creed one. That's kind of why I went over the stuff right there. Because I felt like it's kind of fun to talk about the thought process. Yeah, with the visibility for this, it was a complete clusterfuck for season 1, where it started off with Stan and Ellie being pretty much tied for the first 5 boots, and then it went to Carter Blake until his boot, went back to Ellie, and then she got booted, and then it went to Kratos until his boot, and then it went back, and then it went to Sam Drake actually. But because Stan had it so high at the beginning and then like stayed constant throughout, he ends up with the highest average. So there's that.
This is kind of fun. Ah!
Yeah, now let's talk about season 2. Season 2 is actually, I think Nathan Drake has the highest visibility for any character I've ever done in this series, I believe. I'm trying to look, I'm pretty sure he has the highest visibility. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the highest visibility ever for any of these series that I've done. Yeah, Nathan Drake is number 1 there. Zeus from this season is actually the only again one of the only 2 pre-merge people that are in consideration, and I think we'll use Zeus, especially because we are using Kratos. I feel like we'll probably end up using Zeus, but we'll see. So essentially the way that I mean actually it's pretty simple here with the visibility. Number 1 was a tie between Nathan Drake and Zeus. Then Zeus kind of went away with it until his boot. Then after that, it was Nathan Drake all the way. So that's essentially what happened there. We're about to die.
Okay, I think we can move. Let's go.
So yeah. And also from this season, I feel like Reggie Rowe is someone we're going to end up having to use. Actually, I believe Reggie Rowe might be the only eligible person from the Second Son. So he's a lock just because we have to use him based on my rules. So Reggie Rowe is going to be there. And Reggie Rowe is actually, yeah, he's in the top half the entire season, like until you got booted. So I mean, it's not like he had no, like, I mean, he had an impact on that season anyway. So why not? Fuck, what happened? Yeah, like essentially, the people that are eligible here are Calman for 1, so no. But we got Sam, the kid from The Last of Us. We're not using him. Jameson from Uncharted, probably not. Vince from Beyond Two Souls, we're not using Sona from Horizon Zero Dawn, we're not using her. Again, Nathan Drake and Reggie Rowe are pretty much locked. Then I think those might be the only two though. I think Kara is a debate, like from Detroit Become Human. I don't know. Maybe. Like, maybe, but definitely not. Like, yeah, it's just a Sam Giddings from Until Dawn. Another one that's pretty much a maybe. What the fuck? How am I dying? Well, at least we can skip checkpoint. But what the fuck?
There are boats coming from
Yeah,
both
Sam
sides.
Giddings probably not.
What do we do now? I think I got a plan. You cover the left side. Okay. And you take the right, Hercule.
Got it. Good luck.
What are we doing? Wait, are we just shooting them? I have no clue what we're doing right now. I shot
Look
nothing.
out. Another boat arriving on the right.
This is such a weird section of the game. Why is this here? Yeah, Sam Giddings probably not. I feel like Until Dawn, we already have a couple other characters I'd rather use. So. Yeah, Harry Flynn probably not. I just don't see why we would really use him. And then we got Zeus, who I think we'll probably use. But again, definitely not a lot. But I think we will probably end up using him. But we'll see.
Let's get down to the beach.
Then we got season 3, where Tenzin just barely even, like, even though he won, he just barely even got into the middle of the fucking ability chart. It's funny. But yeah, number 1 was Chloe Fraser, which, yeah, well, she'll probably be on All Stars. Yeah, I don't think it's a lock, just because there's so many Uncharted people, but I think it's pretty much a lock. So yeah, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. The way visibility went this time was Gavin Reed pretty much had all the visibility until he went out, and then it was Chloe the rest of the way. And Gavin Reed, though, I don't think we'll end up using, just because we already have... I mean, it's either him or Carter Blake. I feel like they're both pretty much the same person. So it's like either one of those. Again, the other eligible people, Nora Gray, no. Ted, no. Hassan, probably not. Though, we could use him, and I wouldn't really care too much, but whatever, I'm not really sure about what's going on right now. Yeah, I just don't get why we're even doing this. Like, why the fuck does... Like, well, it just feels like a really forced section where they wanted to make the game longer, so they're like, okay. And they wanted to make some, like, luscious sort of area, so they're like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Damn it. I think I got him. Hercule, you take the left.
Okay.
And you cover the right side.
Why are we why are we the ones that are commanding them anyway? I think David's a contender from this cast of like who to bring back. Charlie Cutter probably not. Lauren Winters probably not. Aloy is a maybe. Especially because a lot of the other Horizon Zero Dawn people that I would want to bring back end up winning. I feel like Aloy is a maybe. And then Nathan Dawkins, probably not, to be honest. I don't see a reason to bring him back, but we'll see. And then Gavin Reed after that. It's either him or Carter Blake.
Just a few left now. Let's get down to the beach. This is not
Alright,
over yet.
season 4. Person with the most screen time was Silence.
Another boat just made land.
Even though he went out in 8th place. I believe he's the furthest back person to have the most screen time. Probably in all the seasons we've done, but definitely in the PlayStation series that we did here. It's funny, yeah, he got 8th place. Yeah, he ended up with the most. Yeah, I mean, he's a lot. I mean, he's a lot. Actually, now I think about it, I mean, he's a Horizon Zero Dawn person, so maybe we don't need Aloy. But I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. the other candidates here, Elena Fisher, I don't know. I really don't know what she's gonna do. We'll see though. He's like, I'm already gonna use Nathan, so we got Hank Anderson, probably not. Rose, no. Ashley, no. Helios, probably not. As I said, Silence will probably use Tommy. No, probably not. Chris Hartley, no. Lazarovich is a maybe. I think he's gonna be like on the fucking border. Like we'll see. And then Jeff Winus is the only other person from the pre-merge that is actually eligible here.
I think that's all of them.
Where,
Good work, gentlemen.
but to be honest, I don't think we'll end up using him because I feel like he's kind of again in this archetype of someone who we already have plenty of that didn't make it far. But whatever. And looking at the screen time, Silent had it for the entire season. So yeah, like I mean, there's never a point where Silent didn't have the most visibility. So, yeah. On. Five. Amanda actually had the most visibility here, which I was kind of surprised by. Because I didn't really feel that way when we were playing it out, but then like in retrospect, like yeah, she was pretty important to the entire pre-merge essentially. And then once we got to the post-merge, like I mean, towards the end she was pretty important too. So I mean, she got second place. I mean, again, I feel like she's a lock then. I feel like she's a lock on this All-Star cast. What else is here? Yeah, so the way screen time went was Sully had the most, and then it went to Emily. Emily from Until Dawn. And then it went back to Sully until his boot. Then it went to Emily again for the next boot. And then it went to Amanda till the end. So yeah. So, yeah, who are the other contenders? Again, Sully is a contender here. And I think Emily Davis is from Until Dawn is a contender here. The other eligible ones are Tirsa, no. Cassie Drake, no. Matt Taylor, probably not. Jay, maybe. Jay from Beyond Two Souls. Slim, no. And then Connor, so no. And Hercules, so no. So yeah, that's it for Season 5. Season 6 here. Number 1 screen time was Joel from Last of Us, so I think that's about right. I think he's a lock. Again, there's no way we're doing it without him out there. There's that. We screen time worked here was actually it started off with like a really weird split between a whole bunch of people, and then it went to a Sav until his boot. Then it went to Nadine Ross until her boot, and then it was Joel the rest of the way. So yeah. Again, I think Joel's a lock. To be honest, he might be the only person we even bring back from this cast. Maybe Isabeau, just because again we're in need of some Order 1886 people. She might be the one that we end up bringing back. But outside of that, it's like I don't feel like anyone else here we need. Like Jezza, Paul, no. Maria, no. Barl, no. Jessica Riley, no. Again, Isabeau we might have to use. Nadine, I mean, I feel like we already have Chloe. I don't feel like we need Nadine as well. Marcus is a maybe. I feel like Marcus would be a fun one, but to be honest, even though he's in the top half here, he still didn't really have that much of an impact on his actual season. Fuck off. I'm dying here again. And then Sav, I don't know. I mean, he did have a lot of screen time, so it's like, I don't know, maybe Sav. But again, I feel like it's like Lazarovich or Saab, like a lot of these people are very similar. Whatever. So season 7 here. Season 7. We have Madison Page with the most screen time, which again I think she's a lock anyway. She's a lock for the All-Star, and I think Rafe Adler is also a lock for All-Star. So who else is eligible here? And the way screen time went was, it looks like it went from Henry at the beginning. Then went to Boulder, then went to Madison Page, then went back to Boulder, went to Grayson, and then went to Boulder, then went to Rash, of all people, and then went to Rafen. But Madison Page ended with the highest average. So, yeah. So eligible people are here are Vargas, no. Landrum, no. Rafe and Madison, again, I said are locked. Dr. Alan Hill, probably not. Where are we going? I need to figure this out. Because I haven't been paying attention. Oh, he's up here. Maybe. Wait, what? Where am I going? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just fail on purpose. Yeah, Blacko, no. Resh is a maybe. Just because Resh was really important to that season. But, I don't know. We'll see. Then we got Grayson, who again might be one just because we need someone from Order 1886. But I don't feel like we need him. And Boulder would, I think Boulder would be interesting. But again, I don't know if we need him though. And Season 8 here, surprisingly, the person with the most visibility the entire time was Ted Farrow, who I was very surprised by that. Oh wait, this one, right? And to be honest, that kind of makes me feel obligated to put him on this All-Star cast, because I don't really want him. Then also, looking at this All-Star at this cast of characters, this is a really shit cast, by the way. Like, I really don't know who I would even pick anyway. I don't know, we might have Ted Farrow, but we'll whatever. And especially because Elizabeth Sobek is unavailable. And like screen time, the entire time it was Ted Farrow. Like I mean, like he literally was the most. Like he had the most the entire game. And with at some points he was tied with Elijah Campbell, and then sometimes tied with Elizabeth Sobek. But like he was pretty much number one the entire time. So it's like it's kind of tough not to put him on there. But it's like I didn't really feel like it was that much fun to play this. Outside of people like outside of his relationship with Elizabeth Sobek and with like Elijah and with Harris and some other people.
Come on.
That was quite some shooting, boys.
Thank you.
What now?
Oh, they'll be back. But I found a boat for you. And he should be arriving on the dock any time now.
Great. Micah, go meet with the captain. If he's amenable and discreet, tell him we'll be ready to set sail soon. Bill, come help me collect poor old Javier.
Sure.
Hercule, it was a great pleasure.
So we're actually leaving? That was pretty quick. So I guess this entire chapter isn't on this island if we are leaving right now. Because again, we should have like what 5 more missions or so this chapter. So. Yeah, I mean, look, running down these people. I mean, we got Elizabeth Sobek, who I don't know. Oh, we can't use anyway. But even then, I wouldn't like. She wouldn't be a lock. Chloe, no. Beth Washington, maybe, but probably not. Scott Shelby, probably not. Blameless Murad, no. Ted Farrow, I guess we have to use. I don't know. Marlene, no. Elijah Kamsky's an interesting one. I don't know. We'll see. Richard Perkins, no. Gabriel Roman, no. And then Navarro is an interesting one too. I don't know. Again, the problem with Navarro is that we have so many other Uncharted people, and I feel like everyone else is above him. Oh, fuck off, we're another mission. I was dead. Okay, you know what? We'll pause here and end the episode here. Actually, since we're talking about this, we might as well finish off with Season 9 here. Which, this chart I literally just finished before I started recording. So, first the most screen time here was actually Norman Jayden. And by a good chunk, too. Yeah, Norman Jayden was number 1. Yeah, this chart ended up being super fucking boring. And actually, in retrospect, the Season 9, I went over it. It was pretty fucking bad. Like, it's pretty boring. But either way. So, yes, the way screen time worked here is Aaron had it for a little bit. Then it went to Jody Holmes for a little bit. Then Talbot. And then it was Norman Jayden the rest of the way. And Talbot lost it, like, at the final, what is that, final 14. So, yeah, I mean, Norman Jayden had it for most of the game. And, yeah, he ended up in 3rd. So, I mean, Norman Jayden, I feel like, is a lock. I feel like Ryan Clayton is also a lock. He came in 2nd. And then the other people that are in contention here, Adam Chapman, no. Josh Washington, maybe, but probably not. Freya, probably not, but maybe. Talbot is an interesting one. But probably no, just due to the excessive amount of Uncharted people. Catherine Marlowe, I think, is interesting. Maybe with her, but probably not. Erend, probably not. Then Ikery, and then Jodie Holmes. Again, probably not. So, yeah, I mean, again, so I have all these lists in front of me. And we'll go ahead and narrow these down. It should be fun. I don't know when we'll do it. If we'll do it tonight or we'll probably do it tomorrow morning, just because I feel like it's too much thought process for me to do tonight. I don't really feel like doing it, but it'll be fun though. So it'll probably take a little while to get that done tomorrow morning, and then we'll actually play out the season, I think, and then yeah, we'll be done. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching.